guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about the natal chart of Nikola Tesla. Okay, so this is the chart of Nikola Tesla. I find his chart to be incredibly interesting, and the reason for this is because he has majority of his planets, especially his inner planets, in cardinal signs. In astrology, along with the four elements, which is water, air, earth, and fire, you also get the three modes. Modes are also known as quadruplicities, and the three modes in astrology are the fixed mode, the cardinal mode, and the mutable mode. So for the purpose of this video, I'm only going to focus on the cardinal mode because that is the mode that is the most dominant mode in the chart of Nikola Tesla. The cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. What cardinal energy represents is initiating energy. Cardinal signs are generally the go-getters. They're generally the people that think of ideas, they think of projects, and they're the ones who start initiating these projects and get these projects going. So in essence, one can say that the cardinal signs are the signs that are the inventors, because they're the ones who come up with the ideas and then they actually put their ideas into motion. The fixed signs are the hard workers. So those are the ones who get down and dirty and do all the hard work that needs to be done. And then the mutable signs put the finishing touches onto the work and they finalize the projects. The reason I think that Nikola Tesla's chart is incredibly fascinating is because he was one of the more prolific inventors that have ever existed in humanity. Nikola Tesla had a brilliant mind and he invented a lot of brilliant things. Now, if you look at his natal chart and you look at all the planets and the asteroids and the points that are in the cardinal signs, it is to no surprise that this man was as inventive as what he was. From my understanding, Nikola Tesla's birth time is unknown, so one cannot pinpoint exactly what his rising sign is. So the chart that is displayed here is a chart that has been calculated without having Nikola's accurate birth time. However, if you look at the location of the planets and the signs that the planets are in, those are accurate in his chart. So as you guys can see, he has quite a concentration of energy in the cardinal sign Cancer. This basically means that he had an incredibly strong, profound ability to use his intuition for his inventions. A lot of the ideas that he got and a lot of ideas that he had were ideas that basically just came to him through his intuitive understanding of life and just of the workings of life. He had his Mercury in Gemini, and this indicates that he had a very, very bright, open mind that allowed him to take in all kinds of information. He did not have a closed mind. His mind was incredibly open. Mercury in Gemini suggests a person who's able to take in everything that they experience without actually looking at it through a judgmental point of view. So through this, a person who has a Mercury in Gemini has a very, very open mind. That means that they are able to explore new ideas. They're able to explore new concepts, and they're incredibly open to this. Nikola had an incredibly versatile mind, and he had an incredibly curious mind that wanted to find out everything around him. He wanted to figure everything out. He was incredibly, incredibly curious. Now the thing is that Nikola has this cluster within the sign of Cancer, and then his Mercury is right on the edge of this cluster, which basically means that Mercury and the sign Gemini does have an influence onto the intuitive understanding that he has, which is represented by Cancer. So this means that what Nikola would do is he would take in information around him, he would learn different topics, he would research different things so that he can figure out and learn as much as he possibly can. Then, because his Mercury was right next to this cluster of Cancer energy, Nikola is then able to take what he experienced and what he learned through his mind, through his incredibly open mind, and then intuitively transmuting it and intuitively processing it within him in order to invent and create something. This is a very, very powerful aspect, and any kind of person who has a combination like this, where they'll have their Mercury in a mutable sign like Gemini, which allows them to be very, very open and versatile to new information, right next to a cluster of planets in Cancer, it will make a person incredibly receptive when it comes to creating things. Nikola Tesla was a Cancer, which basically means he was a cardinal sun sign. So the cardinal energy was ingrained in him quite strongly. What's really cool about Nikola's concentration of cardinal energy is that his cardinal energy is mainly focused within the sign of Cancer and within the sign of Libra. And this basically indicates that the inventions that he will create and the things he will create will not be based on personal progression or based on more selfish tendencies and selfish wants and needs, which would be the case if his concentration was more in Aries or in Capricorn. However, in his case, because this concentration is within Cancer and Libra, his inventions were focused on the betterment of society and the betterment of other people and humanity as a whole. So his inventions were not focused on his own personal progression, which, like I said, would have been the case with Aries and Capricorn. Because Cancer is a very, very nurturing, caring sign, and because Libra is also a sign that basically takes into consideration the needs of others. Libra is a sign that's very, very aware of what other people need. This caused him to create inventions that would help further humanity and just be beneficial to the lives of humanity. So through this, what I'm saying is his chart resulted in him inventing things that weren't based on his more personal needs and his more personal motivations, but he invented things that were meant to help other people and to just help humanity. Nikola also has a cluster of energy in the sign of Libra. Nikola has his Mars and his Moon in a conjunction in Libra. This is a phenomenal aspect for an inventor because Libra is also a cardinal sign where it symbolizes and indicates initiating new things, starting new projects, creating stuff. He had his Moon in conjunction with his Mars, and that means that whenever he had a feeling inside himself, whenever he had some kind of emotion that is in relation to something he wanted to do, for example, an invention that he had or a project that he wanted to pursue on, he would do it immediately because his Mars is right next to his Moon. This is a very, very nice aspect to have. People with their Mars in the conjunction to their Moon are able to take action very, very easily based on their inner emotional sentiments. So for example, inside themselves, they'll feel a yearning to do something and they will do it. They will not procrastinate, they will not be lazy, and they'll just go ahead and get it done. This specific aspect was a very powerful aspect that Nikola had. It allowed him the drive force to actually get the things done that he wanted to get done. Now, because it's in a cardinal sign like Libra, his willpower and his force of action is very, very creative. It's very, very inventive because it's in Libra. And then also having this concentration of energy in Libra also indicated that he was the kind of person that would consider all possibilities. He would consider all avenues, all outcomes of whatever it is that he would do. So Nikola was not a man that would just blindly go into something and just rush into it straight ahead and do it without thinking things through. Nikola looked at all the possibilities, he looked at all the options, and he would think a thing through quite a bit before he would actually proceed with action. All this energy in the sign of Libra, and because his Mars and his Moon is there, it does indicate that he always made very, very reasonable, well thought out decisions. However, he never ever procrastinated, and he always knew exactly what it is that he needs to do. Okay, and then lastly, Nikola had his North Node and his Jupiter in Aries. Now the thing is, he had his South Node in Libra, which indicates he was a very agreeable person that avoided conflict. He hated conflict, he hated arguments. And that is why Nikola could have possibly allowed people to walk all over him back then, because of his South Node in Libra. With his North Node in Aries, Nikola had to learn to develop a stronger sense of self. He had to learn to develop a sense of standing up for himself and having pride within himself. And then with Jupiter in Aries as well, which is a cardinal sign, it basically means that he had this ability to really expand himself in life, to really progress himself in life through the focus that he had on his creations and his inventions. Okay guys, so this is just my video on Nikola Tesla and why I think he is the Cardinal King. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see some more astrology content, then subscribe to my channel. And if you'd like to add anything to what I've just said, then please let me know in the comments. I've added the link to my Patreon in the description to this video if you want to become a Patreon of mine. And I've also added the links to my social media if you want to follow EllAstrology. See you guys next time.